Hello everyone, and today we are doing What If Deku was on Team 7, Episode 2. So, before we get into it, hit the intro. Bitches lost souls up, and the low end, fucking with the old ones, we won't get fucked over. Ferraris and robots, these old lunchy souls up, and I'm with that cobra, now that what's left over, they do it all for souls, so you wasn't making no noise. So, where we left off, Deku and Naruto just graduated the academy. Well, actually, no, Naruto just graduated the academy. Deku graduated the academy while he was still kinda on high security alert because they didn't know who he was. But, not Ruka, Hiruzen trusted him enough to give him all the academy books to help him learn everything, and he learned it in a short. Deku learned everything in a short period of time, learning the basics and the clone jutsu. So, and then they learned the shadow clone jutsu, and Naruto graduated the academy from that because Hiruzen let him. So now we move on to Team 7 being assigned, everyone else and Team 7 being assigned the team, which everything goes the same. Everyone gets on the same team, besides the only difference here is that Team 7 will be a 5-member squad consisting of Kakashi, Sasuke, Sakura, Naruto, and then, of course, Midoriya. So, with this, we move on to the bell test. And now, Deku and Naruto have built up a little bit of a friendship, so they are very likely much to work together during this, more likely. And Kakashi takes this into account, just making sure that he keeps tracks of both of them and what they're saying with just his regular eyes, while still reading his book. And the bell test begins. So, now, Izuku thinks up a plan, saying that, he is a leader, he must be a pretty high-level ninja. So, in order to do this, we're probably all gonna have to work together. He even says this to Sasuke and Sakura, and then Sasuke's like, smart, but what's your plan? And Izuku says, well, I don't really know much about him, but I'm pretty sure he's just going to be using the basics of taijutsu, because he doesn't want to hurt us, but he wants us to go full out. So, if he wants us to go full out, what is the most impressive jutsus all you guys can do? And then Sasuke would say, I know the fireball jutsu. Sakura says, well, I know basic taijutsu, cloning jutsu, and have pretty decent chakra control, but nothing too impressive. Okay, and then Midoriya takes note of that, and then Naruto and Izuku says, well, we got the shadow clone jutsu. And then they're like, what's that? And then they show him the shadow clone jutsu. And yeah, so then they make up a plan of basically Sasuke will have 2 kunai. With these kunai, they're going to attach strings to it so that Naruto and Deku can make a shadow clone and chase after Kakashi with these kunai, hoping to get him close enough to Kakashi to put down the kunai. And then, with the string still being in Sasuke's mouth, Sasuke will perform the fireball jutsu, and while he's performing this, Sakura will just rush at Kakashi, keeping him busy while the fire quickly spreads to Kakashi and hopefully deal enough damage to take the bells. So, they take the plan in motion. Everything goes up to plan, and Kakashi gets burnt, but he still doesn't get heavily injured enough to faint so that they could get the bell. But Kakashi says, nice teamwork, but still not enough. So then
Izuku says, alright, plan B. Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, go at him with everything you got. So then, Sasuke launches 3 more fireball jutsus, while Deku and Naruto use the Shadow Clone Jutsu and summon around 30 Shadow Clone Jutsu, making an equivalent of 60. And Sakura just rushing at Kakashi and using regular taijutsu. And with all this commotion, they're still not able to take the bells, but Kakashi does get a little bit more wary and has to stop reading the book for 1 second. And then he says, alright, you guys passed. And then everyone's like, what? How did we pass? And Kakashi says, this training was just to assess your teamwork, and you guys all seem to be in unison as a team. But I'd have to say that a lot of this team coordination will have to go to the newcomer in the village, Izuku Midoriya. He seemed to be setting up all the plans, and he seems to be a great strategist. So, whenever I'm not around, he should be the team leader. And Sasuke, Sakura, and Naruto. Well, Naruto's just like, well, true. Sasuke's like, I guess you did make up all the plans. And then Sakura just follows along with whatever Sasuke says, because obviously, love. So, now we move on to where they do a couple light missions until Naruto starts getting bored, and when they get called up to Hiruzen's office to get another mission, Naruto begs Hiruzen to give him a little bit harder mission, a little bit more entertaining mission. So then, Hiruzen does. And this is where we begin the land of Waves arc. So, with them getting a little bit harder mission, it's to escort the bridge builder. So, we will get them defending the bridge builder, and everything goes to canon. So first, they get stopped by the Demon Brothers, 2 high-level Junins, almost Jonins. And Sasuke's able to take them out, with Midoriya trying to do something to protect the bridge builder by creating around 10 shadow clones and surrounding the bridge builder, and Naruto still getting stabbed with poison in his arm and still declaring that he will never run away from a fight ever again. So, with this, we move on to the encounter with Zabuza. So, with 4 people on the team, and it's a little bit harder for Zabuza, but not that much. They're all just low-level tuning. But then, Naruto and Deku, right when they see Zabuza, looks at each other and says, Shadow Clone Jutsu, and summon around 60 a pop, making 120 shadow clones. And they all rush after Zabuza, and with around 2 or 3 sword swings of Zabuza's blades, he eliminates all of them pretty fast, but he's like, impressive for some Genin. And then Kakashi says, alright guys, stay back. This is a battle for me. You guys would probably get killed if you even tried to interfere. So Kakashi lifts up his headband, revealing the Sharingan. He says, so, you're the legendary copycat ninja of the leaf. Well, we'll see how much you can copy and how much you can avoid with just that Sharingan of yours. So then they start battling, going at each other, one-on-one, until Kakashi gets stuck in the water prison jutsu, which, once Deku sees this, his body moves on his own. He starts running after Zabuza, and everyone says, wait, don't. And then Kakashi says, don't, you're gonna get yourself killed, until Izuku's eyes turn a whitish color, and veins start popping on his forehead, and Kakashi immediately recognizing what this is. It's the Byakugan. How? And then Zuku dodges Zabuza's blade barely, and then hits him with 8 trigrams, 32 palms. He yells out as Zuku hits him 32 times in all chakra points, making Zabuza weak enough to loosen his grip on the water prison jutsu, allowing Kakashi to escape. Once Kakashi escapes, he says to Zuku, "Alright, move out of the way. This is about to get serious." So then, Zuku quickly runs out of the way, but before he does, Zabuza tries to hit him one last time, and with the Byakugan, Deku dodges and successfully rolls out of the way, leaving up to Kakashi to finish Zabuza off. Using everything goes up to canon, including where they both use water dragon, water style jutsu, and Zabuza almost dies, but Haku comes and saves him. So now they go back to the bridge builder's house, and everyone's questioning, "So, Zuku, how do you have the Byakugan? Are you..." And then Zuku says, "I don't even know what that is. All I know is that I started seeing in 360 vision, and then I saw these points, and I just had the instinct that I needed to hit him. I really don't know." And then Kakashi explains what the Byakugan is. He says that certain clans have specific jutsus and other things that are specific to that clan. We call these Kekigenkai. And if you have Kekigenkai, they usually give you a pretty good advantage in battle, such as Sasuke of the Uchiha, meaning that he has the Sharingan, which I also possess without being a user. I mean Uchiha. This is because people can get dojutsus without being in the clan, just by special means. But most people have the Kekigenkai from being born in it with it. But you were just showed up here, and you have no traces back to the Hyuga clan. Heck, you don't even look like a Hyuga yourself. So, it's weird. And then Kakashi says to the bridge builder, "So, what was up with all that? This is only supposed to be a C-week mission. But with a Jonin like that showing up, this would be classified as an A or even an S-rank mission, requiring at least 2 Jonin." And then the bridge builder coughs up saying, "I would not be able to afford that much. You see, my land is very poor, and we are trying to make a bridge so that we can become wealthy and not have starving children on the streets, and so on and so forth." And then Kakashi, sympathizing with this man, saying, "Alright, we will continue the mission, but it's going to be considered a B-rank mission from now on, so you're going to have to pay a little bit extra, if you don't mind." And the build builder Tazuna says, "I guess since you guys almost died, it's the least I can do." So they come to an agreement, and they head on to the Tazuna's house. Now, then Kakashi shows everyone chakra control. And then Deku's like, chakra control. I read this about in a book. So, and I practiced it a little bit. So, like Sakura, Deku is able to get his chakra control down pretty fast, and climbs up the tree, little to no effort, leaving Naruto and Sasuke to battle to see who's going to be the first to be able to climb up the tree. And then we have that little scene where Deku not Deku, Naruto and Sasuke stumble into Tazuna's house and almost collapsing, but they get to eat, and they even race to see who can eat first. And then Izuku says, seems like fun, I'm gonna join in. And then they all throw up their food. And then, like in canon, Sasuke and Izuku go to sleep, but Naruto goes out to train all night, and then he wakes up to Haku standing above him, saying, "Hello, are you okay?" And then Naruto wakes up, saying everything he would say in canon, until Haku says that he's the guy, and they have the little gag right there. And then, after that, we go on to the bridge fight with Sasuke and Haku. And then Naruto going back. But this time, Izuku's actually at the house, because he said that just in case anything happens at the house, he should stay there. So he's actually defending Tazuna's grandchild and the mom of the grandchild. And he's doing a pretty good job at it until Naruto shows up and finishes them off. And then they both rush over to the bridge. And once they get there, Sasuke is in the ice demon mirrors. And Kakashi's battling Zabuza. So then Kakashi says, go help Sasuke. So they both rush over to Sasuke. And then Naruto says, alright, we need to help him. We should go in there. And then Izuku says, oh, you're not seeing what's going on in there. We need to stop the source from the outside. Otherwise, this may end up being bad and we might all die. And then Naruto says, alright. So then they watch as Haku enters in and out the mirror. And then Naruto says, so, you know that Byakugan thingy-majiggy? You know you can activate that whenever you want. And then Izuku says, really? Yeah. Naruto says, try it. And then Izuku says, alright, Byakugan. And Izuku activates his Byakugan, which means he can see Haku a little bit easier, and he can also see what's happening in 360 vision. So then he says, alright, I'm gonna enter the ice mirror. Naruto, you stay out here unless I say so. So Naruto stays out there, kind of bummed out that he can't enter with him. And then, with Deku using the Byakugan, hits one of Haku's chakra points, slowing him down a little bit. And Sasuke says, why are you in here? Shouldn't you be on the outside? He says, I have the Byakugan, so I can see full 360 vision. And everything kind of is perceived a little bit slow for me. And I hit one of his chakra points already. And then Sasuke's like, you know there's 64 points of those in your body. Do you really think they can survive 64 blows of those needles? And Izuku's like, no. But working together we might. So Sasuke gets up and says, alright, you wanna do it? So then they fist bump. And so sparking a friendship between Sasuke and Izuku. And then they start going at it, getting stabbed by needles. And while also Sasuke trying to slow Haku down, well, Izuku tries to hit his chakra points until Izuku hits around 12 of his chakra points, slowing him down enough. But then Haku says, you guys are strong. Sadly, I'm gonna have to take out one of you. So then he throws a bunch of needles, all at vital points, at Sasuke. And then Sasuke faints. And then Deku goes to his knees and starts crying, saying, I won't forgive you, no matter what. Sasuke. And then, suddenly, his Byakugan turns red, and 3 dots form in his eyes. And then you can just feel an immense chakra. Nothing like the Nine Tails, of course, but something else. Something far worse. Deku breathes heavily as something emerges as chakra based. It is a rib cage. Susanoo! Deku screams as a green Susanoo appears of a rib cage, and Deku's Mangekyo Sharingan is unlocked, and everyone feels immense energy, and Kakashi seeing the Susanoo, saying, "Only one person I know uses that, and that is Itachi Uchiha." Alright everyone, so that's what I'm going to be leaving off here for here today. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and the anime logging off.